Welcome to lesson 256 on why I think San Francisco is failing. So first up, we have my correction notice. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so I do not have my address written on the front of my house. Well, you can see it, it's there, but it's not that legible. And if you've been following my previous videos, you know my neighbors keep vandalizing the front of my house. Actually, they were vandalizing before I finished painting it a few years ago. And if you see the previous videos, you can see all the damage that they've done. And so I actually never finished it because they kept destroying it. And actually, I was working on my own DVR to record everything, and I'm working on that right now. And I'll make sure that's in place before I do any more work on my house, right? But, and here's the rules, in case you didn't know. So it's section 502.1. And just so you know, the stroke width each letter has to be at least ½ inch wide, 4 inches tall. And if you go around the neighborhood, you'll see a lot of houses and businesses here that violate this rule, 502.1. This is from the fire department. And so what they're saying is that if my house is on fire here in Tech Central San Francisco, right, the fire department won't be able to find my house. Isn't that incredible? That's why I would say San Francisco is quite a failure. If they can't find my house, the fire department can't find my house when it's on fire, we got a big problem here in the city. But there's more. So I also have this. So apparently there was some bird feces apparently on the front of my house someplace. And so my neighbors complained because it spreads disease. And I don't know if you noticed, I have a lot of videos showing there's poop all over the place. Lots of it, up and down the street. And I'm not sure how many of you have been reported to the Department of Health for the feces in front of your house. Anybody? So, well, and there's more here. So this was a few years ago, back in 2016 actually, and I was crossing the Golden Gate Bridge, and SFPD, Angie Costs, stopped me, detained me for no reason, and basically they shut the whole bridge down just to detain me for hours. They basically threw me into a car, dragged me off, and the officer said I had no civil rights, right? And the people around just laughed because that's what the people are around. So I'm not sure what you call this. I know there's a word for what's going on. Anybody got? If you have an idea, just put it in the comments. So this has been going on, quite a bit. And so I would say that, if the city is just getting away with this a lot, and if you saw the response from the attorney there, they do apparently get away with this. They do this a lot. This is what the city government does. And I'm not sure, what you would think of that. But, I also was in, high tech for a while, quite a few companies. And one thing I noticed was the inspirational posters they put up and the things that they say, the PR they put out, like, employees are number one, priority number one, and safety is number one, all those things that they put up there. That's, or do not be evil. They only say that because they don't have, it's just inspirational. They don't actually have those qualities at all. And so this goes into then to our Constitution, Bill of Rights. Same thing. They don't actually exist. No. They're inspirational, but we don't actually, they're only listed there because we do not have them. If we had them, they wouldn't have any reason to to write them down anywhere, would they? Mm-mm. And I don't know if you've seen the studies. I remember studies like, for instance, there was a study on graduate students at Stanford and how they don't believe in the Bill of Rights, especially the First Amendment, even just the first one. And a majority of the graduate students did not believe in it. And you can see, if you look around here, you'll just see, what's going on, and it's not successful at all. And once you start this level of, corruption and what's going on, it spreads everywhere. And back about 20 years ago, there were street kids. We had these street kids up and down Haight Street. I don't know if you remember them. They're different than the ones today. They're totally different. And these people were the harbingers of what's coming. They were showing us, that they had given up on society. All this, they saw what was going on, the young people, and they gave up. And they took off someplace, and now they're replaced by what we have out here. And it's just a gradual slip into, destruction, basically, of the city, which is sad. But that's what we have here. That's lesson 256.